I literally like quit my other jobs and I was like, I'm done.
Yesterday you quit your job?
Morning. And I literally texted Rob and like all my friends. I was like, I'm diving in. Like, universe is like hard work, faith. Let's go. Like, I'm no more. Like, it's just I don't have time. I'm like, there's no time except for like everything you want to do, whatever. And I was trying to raise my vibration, and so I just came here. Like, out of the blue, because, I mean, I work, like, I'm a producer here, and, like, I'm always around working.
Right, but you weren't on staff yesterday.
No, and I had no idea what was going on here. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to a creative space. Like, I swear to God. And then I sat down, and I was like, and I heard your voice, and I was like, oh, my God, Mel, and I know Rob works with you. And the chapter, like, was making me, like, shake, because it's, like, everything affirming to me, like, in that moment. And I was just like, what is going on?
So 2 years ago, I landed at the Dallas airport, and I get into an Uber. Now, I barely had a moment to say hello to the driver before my cell phone rang. It was one of the executives from Sony Pictures Television calling about the launch of my new daytime talk show. When I hung up the phone, Eduardo introduced himself and said, I can't believe you're in my car, and I've got to talk to you. And he said, I want to know how to become an Oscar-winning actor who will create opportunities for Black and Latino men in the inner city who also want to be actors. Oh, I love that idea, I said. And then I immediately asked him the most obvious thing that was on my mind. So, Eduardo, why are you in Dallas? If acting is the game you want to be in, you have to be in New York or LA. He paused. Right. How old are you? 25. Oh, cool. Well, you have two choices, I said. You can either stay in Dallas or move to where the action is. And if you're 25 years old, I'm going to assume that like the 25-year-old me, you don't have a house and you don't have a spouse and you don't have all the obligations that the 50-year-old Mel Robbins has, so you got nothing tying you down. After you drop me off, you should give 2 weeks notice on this job and you should move to New York or LA. You need a specific date so you can stop thinking about what you're going to do and start taking steps to make it happen. Give yourself a deadline. This is your dream, not mine, Eduardo. I could feel him thinking. Well, now the tears were flowing. So, Eduardo, you got to train your mind to spot all the opportunities that are right in front of your face, rather than the obstacles. Can you give me one thing that happened today that is evidence that you should move to California? And he said, this conversation right now.
I cannot believe, like, that was happening.
Well, but you need to believe it, and here's why.
Yeah, right.
Here's why.
Yeah.
Okay? You put it in motion by quitting your job.
Mm. Yeah.
Don't give me credit. You put it in motion by quitting your job. And so when I talk about the fact that you can look backwards and be like, oh, that's how all the dots line up in my life and brought me here. Now it all makes sense. I'm telling you, this moment is a dot that is going in a direction you're meant to go. And the more intentional you are about the decisions that you make and whether or not they align with where you want to be going, you have the power to change the trajectory. Anytime you make a decision, you did. You quit your job yesterday. You made a decision to come here because it's where you feel more creative and alive. And you walk in and you hear me recording the first audiobook that I'm releasing in literally 4 years. And you hear the chapter about a guy who is dying to move to LA and too scared to do it.
Yeah.
If that is not you putting exactly what you needed in place, I don't know what is. Don't give the universe credit. Yeah. Give it to yourself, because you're the one that finally woke the up and made the right decision.
Now I've been working on like my debut album with Rob here.
You are?
I have been, but recently I've been denying my dreams a little bit and like crawling back into the resistance thing.
Why? What is it that makes you pull back from your dreams?
It's the like when you actually feel what you want. And like you literally said it, which is why it's like I was listening to chapter 10 yesterday, just like through here, and it was like when you take that in and actually feel it, it's like it is overwhelming. It's like so much that comes up that's scary.
What comes
up
for you?
Everything that, oh my God, like what do I feel?
Yeah, like when you really allow yourself to believe that it could be you on that stage. It could be your songs that are having millions of downloads and moving people. What does that bring up for you?
Like my freest self, like my like what what my soul kind of knows. I feel like I just need to believe it in this like world, but it's like I do believe it can happen. It's just like allowing it to.
See, what I want to teach you is this. So you're absolutely right. When you allow yourself to envision the thing you deeply want the most. Like I have the same thing about launching a podcast. If I really allow myself to believe it, it's that we will be the #1 podcast, period. And I can feel it. That is my soul pulling me forward.
Totally.
But what's keeping me from really going all in and doing the work is this deep sense that I still am not worthy of the things that I want.
Yeah.
And so the battle for you is not, well, for me, it's not with fear. It's with this opinion that I don't deserve to be happy, or I don't deserve and I'm not worth or not good enough to have something that magnificent. And that is what holds me back.
Yeah.
So how would you describe yours?
That's exactly it. It comes down to like this, like why can't, because it's like, it's a big dream. It's a big freaking thing. It's the whole thing. He's been with me from the beginning doing this, but like, it's a whole thing. And it's like, yeah, you could, and I could get there, but I'll still feel this way. I feel like, unless I like deal with it now, like you can have everything on, still feel like imposter syndrome or whatever.
You always will, because what you're talking about is that resistance you're feeling is the distance between your life right now and the life you want.
Yes, that's 100%.
And so what I want to tell you is this is also kind of a mind. You ready? You might not actually ever have your album have 1 million downloads or change anybody's life. The point of doing it anyway is that there's something inside you that is supposed to come alive that currently dies when you don't put this album out.
Totally.
And so it's really not about the album. It's about giving yourself permission and having the self-worth and the self-love to let that part of you that's dying to be seen and heard come alive and be expressed. The album's the vehicle to do it. What happens to that album is irrelevant. The most important thing is that you see that it's this opinion that you're not worthy or good enough that stops you, being like, that, I'm not listening to it, and allowing the part of you that wants to be seen and heard to just come out and be you.
And thank you so much. And it's like, it's crazy because like whenever we're working in here on music, like I'm the happiest. All my anxiety goes away. Like everything feels like homeostasis.
Yeah.
But then, so I just need to keep doing that,
Yes.
like you said, because that's the thing that needs to be fed.
Yes.
And just let like the rest take its course, I guess.
Yes.
But that's what matters, is kind of what you're saying, is like doing the thing and not what's going to happen, I guess.
You have to let go of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the thing that you love the most that makes you come alive becomes about achieving something rather than being the person, like being a state of being. Like it's not about the thing. It's about how you feel and how you're being. And music is what makes you come alive. So stop thinking about what is going to happen, right? Use that dream to make yourself come alive. But don't expect that to be the thing. You know, don't depend on it for your self-worth. Your self-worth is determined by getting up and showing up and doing the things that you're scared to do and that you love. That's how you're going to feel worthy, not by the number of albums that you sell. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
What are you waiting
Oh, my
for?
God. You're amazing.